Today we will discuss about index investing. Here, how to get the maximum returns through index investing is our topic. Here, how we can invest in the index funds is there are two ways, either by the mutual fund or ETF. Okay, ETF is something called which will be traded on the exchange, whereas a mutual fund is maintained by for some fund manager. He will be investing after the market hours. He will take the money from us and then he will invest on the next day. It will be not traded on the exchanges, but both are almost the same. Okay, now we will talk about how index investing is the best. Suppose if you are investing in some company, if those are not performing, you have to keep a track on it. You don't know which one is performing well and which is not performing well. Here NSE is having around a 1500 plus companies. Here in that NSE will every 6 months they will form this index companies. Basically they will restructure this index. Okay, if some company is not performing, they will remove from the index and they will bring other company. If some company is performing so good, then they will bring that company into this index and they'll try to remove some company which is not performing not so well out of this 50. Okay, so here the point is these 50 companies without any problem, this NSE only will take care and they will change on every 6 months basis. Okay, so how we can invest through this one is, first way is like mutual fund. There is a famous mutual fund called UTI Nifty Index Fund. Okay, there is another way is like Nippon is actually maintaining one ETF called Nippon India ETF. Okay, so to compare between index, mutual fund and ETF, how these three have given a different return, I will talk. First, I am taking a Google Finance. Here, I am comparing the Nifty UTI mutual fund and Nifty Bs. Okay, so Nifty have given approximately 76% return, whereas UTI have given 85 and Nippon have given 87. How this extra 10% difference is? Even they are investing in this Nifty only. Why this extra difference is coming is because here if you see, it is all 50 companies will be declaring a dividend of some X percentage, dividend yield of 1.41%. Okay, so this money will be reinvested actually on every time. Whenever they get the dividend, they will reinvest instead of they giving, if you take the direct mutual fund or Nifty Bs. Now that is why here the return is 12.36 and the total return is 13.78. Means that extra return is something called this dividend return. Means they are investing that dividends again and those dividends are also growing at some X percentage. That is the extra percentage we are getting here. Means 75 versus 85 is that extra 9% we got it. That is because of dividend reinvestment. Okay, now we'll talk this why ETF is giving more percentages is because usually ETFs will have less expense ratio. Okay, suppose the expense ratio of UTI Nifty mutual fund is like approximately 0.21 percentage. Okay, this mutual fund will have some fund manager and they have to pay salaries for them. They will work for some time for investing these all 50 companies, whatever money we given, right? So that expense ratio they need it. I mean, they will charge some expense ratio, charges, everything is all comes under this expense ratio. When it comes to ETFs, the expense ratio of Nifty Bs is approximately 0.05. So 0.21 for Nifty mutual fund. When it comes to ETF, it is only 0.05. So it's a difference of 0.16. Okay, so that 0.16 on every year, that difference is actually this extra 1.5% in the span of 5 years. So if you are investing in either ETF or index, what is the benefit of doing it is, I mean, what is the benefit of investing in these two rather than investing manually these all 50 companies? Here you have to check every time. If something is not performing, you have to track this. If something is performing more better, and that one you have to change it. Okay, that headache will not be there when you invest in these two. Okay, and also not only that, if you are investing manually in these all companies, every dividend whatever you get, you have to pay tax for that, and you have to reinvest again that amount. Okay, it's very tough to reinvest again that amount equally out of this all. But when it comes to these ETFs, what happens, the ETFs dividends or mutual fund in dividends are reinvested, and thus reinvested money is considered as a like a long term capital gains or short term capital gains. Means for long term you'll pay only 10%, for short term only 15%. But if you are getting a dividends, and if you are in the tax slab, if you are a taxpayer, then what happens, you have to pay, you have to, if you are paying a 20% tax, you have to pay 20% on the dividend income. If you are paying a 30% tax slab, I mean, if you're standing in that 30% tax slab, you have to pay 30% on the dividend. But when you're investing in either of these two, what happens, you have to pay only 10% or 15%. Okay, so that way you can change a lot, I mean, you can save a lot of money in the long run by investing either from the ETF or a Nifty mutual fund. My strong suggestion is, if you are smart, try to invest in the Nifty Bs rather than the mutual funds. That extra 1% in the span of 5 years, if you see the 30 years return, that extra 1% will become lakhs of rupees will be there. When you invest every month 10,000 or 5,000, that extra 1% will change a lot. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to our channel and hit a like button. Thanks for watching our